is. There it is. Welcome, everybody, to the greatest combat sports and culture of the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, Serg Vicente. This is episode 251 of the Fight Podcast, man. Morning coffee and fight news. Hope you guys had a great weekend, man. I know I did. Before we get started, you know how we get down. Salute to everybody having a little bit of cup of coffee. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in live today, man. Always appreciate you guys. Yeah, check us out, man. We're like I said, everywhere podcasting is available. If you're watching live, please let everybody know right now. Let them know we're recording live for you guys. And we're obviously every time Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Listen, like, subscribe, share. Go ahead and do that right now as well. Look, man, let's go ahead and kind of get into it. On today's menu, we're going to go ahead and touch on all of this weekend's fight action, and holy shit, do we have a lot of it. This weekend, we kicked it off. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and talk about the potential Fight of the Year candidate between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. Man, that was an incredible fight at the UFC's Flyweight Championship. Just crazy fight. We'll go ahead and break that one down. Also, the end of an era. We're going to touch on Tony Ferguson just absolutely getting touched up by Charles Oliveira. I wonder who told you guys about that one and said that was going to happen. I don't know. Maybe this guy. And we're going to talk about Anthony Joshua, the potential matchup between him and Tyson Fury, and so much more, man. Again, everybody who's watching live, thank you so much. My boy, Smitty, Larry, brother, what it do? Thank you so much for joining, watching us live on the show today. And everybody else watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, man. Like, again, you guys are part of the show just like anybody, just like myself or any guest, man. So please go ahead and any questions, comments, concern, everything, go ahead and jump in the comments, man. You guys are part of the show, and we always love your guys' support and help, man. So always appreciate the love. Thank you guys so much for joining us, man. And again, it is Monday. This is episode 251 of the Fight Podcast, morning coffee and some fight news. Yo, man, I'm doing well this weekend. Hope you guys had a good one. Let's go ahead and it's always a good time when we get one or two solid fights. You know what I'm saying? If you get one or two solid events a weekend, you're happy. I mean, shit, as a fight fan, if you get two just epic fights or just great entertaining matchups twice a month, that's damn near more than you can fucking ask for. Bro, this past weekend, it was just fight after fight after fight, not just in MMA, but on the boxing end as well, man. There were so many amazing matchups, and bro, I was kicking it, enjoying it. Obviously, holiday season's kicking off. If you guys look at the tree behind me, yes, I'm in LA. Yes, that's Majesty Palm, and yes, I did decorate it with pencil. That's just how we get down. Gotta love the holidays, man. So in the midst of me watching all the holiday movies and enjoying shit like Harold and Kumar's Christmas and Friday After Next, you know, I mixed in some fights, man. And this weekend, I don't think there was anything. There were so many big ones, but I want to start off with this today, okay? And we're kicking it off with this because this was breaking news. The news actually just pretty much happened right about 8 a.m. This morning Pacific time. And dude, it was the hammer that a lot of us are waiting to drop. Yoel Romero, the soldier of God, he signs with Bellator. As we all know, last week, Yoel Romero he and the UFC cut ways. They parted ways. That was the big news of the week, especially because he's arguably the second best middleweight in the world. The only person that's truly better than him at this point in time is the champion, Israel Adesanya. Well, he left the UFC. Bellator early last week said they weren't interested in him for some strange reason. It seems like they changed their fucking minds, and now it seems like Yoel Romero, not only is he going to go ahead and fight at UFC's, or should I say Bellator, he's also fighting at light heavyweight. So he's left 185. He no longer has to worry about that weight cut, and now he's competing at 205, which begs the question, Is Bellator's 205-pound division better than the UFC's? And I'm here to tell you guys, yo, there's no ifs, ands, or fucking buts about it. It's better. It is better. You have the champion Ninkoff, who honestly is better than probably the UFC's current champion at 205 and Jan Blachowicz. And that's no shade on Jan Blachowicz, this young boy who is this Russian who's fucking Fedor Emelianenko's protege, is a beast. He destroyed Ryan Bader. And at the end of the day, I mean, that is a competitive dude. Ryan Bader is also still there. We have Phil Davis, who is still there. We have also, think about who just came over there. You have Phil Davis, you have him, you have Yoel Romero, and also the other big signing, Anthony Rumble motherfucking Johnson. Holy shit. Right there, they have entertainment value. We can put together a tournament right now, and it'll sell. They got name value, they have legends, they have young talent. Bellator is crushing it right now. Now, is this something that we probably all anticipated? Yeah, a little bit, but when it really boils down to it, when Bellator last week said they weren't interested in that match, that pickup in terms of Yoel Romero, we believed them. Yoel Romero's fucking 43 years old, and that's a Cuban 43. We don't fucking know how old he really is. So at the end, so when we were looking at it, we didn't know what was going to happen. Was he going to sign with one? Were we going to be able to see him and Vitor Belfort compete? We had no clue. And now the storylines keep going when it really goes to Yoel Romero signing with Bellator, especially because Anthony Rumble Johnson just signed with Bellator. That continues the same drama and everything that was going on in terms of the big gym rivalry. And the big gym rivalries that we're talking about is American Top Team versus Sanford MMA that used to be the Black Zillions. That's a built-in fucking rivalry. We can keep the fucking party going. I love it. It's two guys who are extremely explosive, two guys that have great name recognition. Sign me the fuck up. Bellator right now is crushing it. And at this present moment in time, granted, does that all change if Adesanya moves up to 205? Possibly. But pound for pound right now, guys, I hate to tell you, man, Bellator has a better 205-pound weight class. Their light heavyweight division is better than any other light heavyweight division in the world, including the UFC with the Yoel Romero signing. All right, let's kind of move right along. That was definitely the breaking news of the morning, so I kind of wanted to get it kicked off with that. But the big news of the weekend, man, and the biggest fight of the weekend was the Instant Classic. The champion, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. This fight had everything that you fucking wanted. And let me say this real quick. For those people that say the small guys don't interest me. Okay? The lighter weight classes, that's just not entertaining. Oh, they can't crack, they can't do this, they can't. Yo, stop that shit. For real. These are some of the most entertaining, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this weight class is kind of getting stacked. Okay, I think we have to really think about it and really salute Demetrius Johnson. We thought this weight class was trash. It's because he was just dog walking. Everybody shows how great the tiny goat really is. But let's talk about this matchup. Deiveson Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno, Instant Classic. This fight ended up being a majority draw, okay? I had Deiveson Figueiredo winning the fight. I only had it one or two ways. It was either a draw or Figueiredo winning by a round, okay? That's the only way I think you could have possibly seen it. Obviously, other people had it other ways. Brandon Moreno, I think, performed incredibly. This fight was one of those that it had everything you wanted. It was both guys had to get gut checked. You had the waves. It was going back and forth. You had the pace. Yo, the pace that these guys kept. Most time, everyone always talks about Deiveson Figueiredo, and I was going back and forth with people on social media all week. Anybody who has any type of muscle, they say, look, he's gonna gas out. Fam, he did not gas out. And I don't know if it's a product of, they're saying, oh, he's not going to be in shape. He walks around so big, he has to be in shape to make the weight class itself. So not only is he huge for the weight class, he's also working his ass off and he's training. This kid is an absolute monster. And Brandon Figueiredo, took every fucking thing the champion had. He is tough. He is gritty. And one thing that he said when he was coming, he's like, look, I might not be the strongest. I might not be the most explosive guy out there, but I got the biggest fucking set of balls out there. And he proved that because the champion, Deiveson Figueiredo, was coming out there and throwing bombs. They were just throwing constant bombs back and forth. And the beautiful thing about it, not only did he absorb those bombs from the champion, he gave them back. This fight was back and forth. Both men got hurt. And then what made it really impressive is after the fight is when you realize the champion, Deiveson Figueiredo, and this was actually came out after the fact, is they thought he was rushed to the hospital. Well, here's the thing, guys. He went to the hospital the night before the fight. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. The fight was in jeopardy. They almost had to call the fight off because the champion had terrible food poisoning. And then he went out there and put together an instant classic in the way he did, to the point where he actually won the 5th fucking round. Dude, he went out there and won the 5th round when this dude is in the hospital the day before, and he had to go to the hospital afterwards. Amazing, amazing matchup. Both guys, both men's stock goes skyrocketed from here. The flyweight division is here to fucking stay. They've asked it. I keep seeing this question time and time again. Who saved the flyweights? Is it Deiveson Figueiredo or is it Henry Cejudo? Yo, mad respect to Triple C. He is a champion, and as much as I think dude is his whole shtick is ass, look, at the end of the day, he's an amazing champion. But I'll be the first one to tell you, Deiveson motherfucking Figueiredo saved this weight class. He saved it because he proved that he can put people out with one shot. He can prove that he is going out there, he's choking people out. And this dude came into the fight with all the motherfucking swag. He got the blonde hair. He got the Kratos red streak in it. This dude has the sunglasses. He has an aura about him, like he knows you don't belong in this motherfucker with him. But with all that shit being said, Brandon Moreno took everything that he had, proved that he belonged there. Remember, this is a guy that lost 3 in a row. They got cut and continued evolving, continued working his ass off. And it proves, and it goes into something that I'm going to talk about with Charles Oliveira coming up, is that we cannot really judge a lot of these young guys. We have to literally see them develop and grow, especially these guys that come in. Chase Hooper's another one. We got to see what happens with these guys, man. They're developing, they're growing, and what we see at the very beginning, 21, 22, 23 years old, isn't what we're going to see. These guys now, look at them. Look at Brandon Moreno. He's 27 years old. He's starting to come into his own. Charles Oliveira, 31. These guys are fucking monsters now, and it really makes you look at what is happening with the development of these guys, because shit, that was a fight, man. Salute to both. What happens next? Me personally, I would like to see a rematch. I think an instant rematch, but at the end of the day, we know how Dana White works. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. There is a possibility. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying there's a legit possibility that they'll let Cody Garbrandt end up getting that fight just because he has a little bit of more name recognition than Brandon Moreno, and then they'll make that shit happen. Do I think it should happen? Fuck no. But I know how the UFC works. That's probably what will end up happening. All right. Also on this card, moving right along, and thank you for everybody who is watching us live today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. This is your host, Serg Vicente of the Fight Podcast, episode 251. You were watching Morning Coffee and Fight News. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I did, man. It was some fucking amazing fights this weekend. A lot of fun. Went back and forth. I'm starting talking about right now UFC 256. I will be talking about boxing as well. But let me get a little sip of coffee. All right, man. Talk to me if you guys are in the comments, man. If you guys have any questions, anything, man, holler at me. Shit, let me know how you guys are doing. Where are you? Where you guys listening from? Let me know. All right, I know we had a couple people from Chi-Town. Gotta love my city. I miss Chicago, bro. This is the first holiday season in my life. I'm 34 that I haven't been in Chicago. You know, even when you're in college, when you're working this shit, you always come back home. But because of the pandemic, man, I'm out here in LA. I live and work and shit out here now. But man, I mean, I miss home, and I can't stunt. People talk shit. Look, man. Yes, it's beautiful outside. Yes, it's amazing. Winter holidays isn't holidays without cold and snow. I feel like I'm being cheated. This is some bullshit for real. All right, man. Let's get into it. Speaking of somebody who did not get cheated, holy shit, man. This weekend we had Charles Oliveira beat down Tony Ferguson. A lot of people were going back and forth on this fight. I know I said it after Charles Oliveira's fight with the Motown Phenom. When I saw that fight, I called it then, and I'm going to reiterate what I said now. Charles Oliveira is a future champion in the UFC. I said I think he'll win this championship in 2021, and to me, this fight proved it. He is on an 8-fight win streak. 7 of those 8 fights, he finished his opponent, and he damn near finished Tony Ferguson on this one, okay? This was a crazy... Oh, man, my brother's in Lake Hills now. Okay, Chi-Town to Jace. We gonna call it like that, all right? Chi-Town to Jace. But this fight, was one of those that was, again, 8 fight. Now he's on an 8-fight win streak. He has 7 finishes, and he absolutely big brothered Tony Ferguson. We've never seen this happen to Tony. Even the last fight when he fought against Justin Gaethje, and we all agreed that Justin Gaethje went out there and, you know what I'm saying, won the fight decisively. It was the worst beating that we've ever seen Tony Ferguson take. And Tony Ferguson, before that, was on a fucking 12-fight winning streak. He was on a 7-year win streak before his loss earlier in 2020, the interim title fight, 2-fight Khabib against Justin Gaethje. And my man went out there, and, I mean, even in that fight, he had his moments. He dropped Justin Gaethje. Bro, this wasn't even close. He had 2 10-8 rounds on every scorecard. Oh my God, 2016 on every one of these scorecards. That was one of the most dominant ass whoopings that I've ever seen. Charles Oliveira took everything that Tony Ferguson said. He beat him in the stand-up. He dominated him in the wrestling, and then just positionally was crazy. And at the end of the first round, that armbar that Charles Oliveira caught Tony Ferguson in, my lady was sitting here laughing at me, man. Producer of the show, Tosh Point oh, man, the first lady of the Fight Podcast. She's cracking up laughing at me. I'm literally standing on the couch with a pillow on my face, screaming. I was like, holy shit, this nigga's about to get his fucking arm snapped, and I'm going to watch his elbow shoot out of the screen. I knew that shit was going to happen. The bell rung. Tony Ferguson is tough as they fucking come. I was terrified for him, but after that moment, you can absolutely tell this fight was over. Charlie's gonna dominate him from fucking pillar to post. This wasn't even close, okay? Beautiful performance of Charles Oliveira. And when you look at these type of fights, man, it's one of those that it really was a passing of the torch. Passing of the torch, even to the point that this nigga damn near looks like him, okay? It looked like, and I saw a meme that had me fucking dying that said, Tony Ferguson's the type of dude that will put his soul into his clone so he can continue the winning streak. And that's exactly what fucking Charles Oliveira looks like, Tony Ferguson 2.0. Also, I have to say this for you guys, and actually I'll talk about it in a second, but let's move on to this one first, okay? What's next for Dude Bronx Charles Oliveira? We're talking about somebody that has the most wins in UFC history. He has the most submissions in UFC history, and he has that by like 3 at this point in time. Okay, he's 31 years old. He's coming into his prime, and this is a guy, like I was talking about with Brandon Moreno, is one of those dudes that, he started when he was 21 years old. I put it like this: when he first started with the UFC, he was on the Facebook prelims, and the UFC card was on Versus. Serge, what's versus? I don't fucking know. That's what versus is. You know what I'm saying? It's that goddamn long ago that that fucking shit happened. That's how long he's been in the UFC. He has been in the UFC since 2010. He's been in here for a solid decade. He has taken his L's. I saw this kid fight against Cub Swanson at 145 pounds in Chicago and get knocked out, okay? And also, check this out. This was Charles Oliveira's first decision win. Not just his first decision. This is the first time he has been to a decision since 2014. He also leads the UFC history in post-fight bonuses. He is an absolute savage, and that's why I've told you guys on this show, and I'm going to say it again, he is going to be the champion. And he's what's next after Khabib. I said that directly after Khabib won. I think he's going to be the next one to hold it down in the UFC, okay? All right. One thing that also with this, so what's next for him? I think he should get the winner of Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. I think that's going to end up, they're probably going to end up making that an interim title, so to speak. And then I think he should get the winner of that one. It makes sense to me. And at the end of the day, this is one of those fights that, again, a next man up, man. A next man up mentality. And, man, 155 is a fucking Shark Tank. All right. Is it over for Tony Ferguson? Yo. I hate to say this to you guys. Yeah, it's a fucking wrap, yo. You can cancel Christmas for him. Is it over in terms of we'll never see him fight again? No, we'll see Tony fight again. Is it over in terms of watching him as the premier guy in the weight class, as a perennial contender in the weight class? Fam, it's over. It's a wrap. That ship is fucking sailed. That ship sailed. The last time we saw Tony Ferguson as Tony Ferguson was what? When he beat Don Cerrone. That was the last time we saw him. After that, the next time we saw him out was that was it. That was the last hurrah. And again, that was against an aging superstar in his own right. He had an amazing run. He didn't get the credit that he deserved when he was the best in the world. And that sucks that those type of things happen. I think his personality kind of helped with that because I don't think he really gelled with the UFC brass a lot. He's a weirdo too. You know, I think that's kind of difficult to sell at times. But the proof is in the pudding. 7-year win streak, 12-fight win streak. I mean, the dude is a legend, okay? He should be a surefire UFC Hall of Famer. And it's just a damn shame that we didn't see him fight Khabib Nurmagomedov for the title. I think the fight against Charles Oliveira kind of highlights a little bit and kind of gives us a little bit of insight of how that fight would have gone. And I think we could all agree that it wouldn't have been pretty. I think it really shows that as tough as Tony is, he probably would have got fucking mauled on the ground by Khabib in the same manner that his ass got mauled on the ground by Buddy, okay? So it is what it is, man. I look at Buddy and I'm laughing at my man's Larry over here. I'm telling you, everybody's watching right now live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Let everybody know, man. Remember, the Fight Podcast we stream live each and every motherfucking week. Listen everywhere podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Listen, like, subscribe, share. You can do that right there if you're watching in the links right now. All right. But yeah, it's over for Tony, man. I hate to say it like this. He was one of my favorites. I think he's one of everybody's favorites. Any real fight fan, you like these type of dudes, man. He's tough as shit. He's a badass. He's a little nuts. But it's over. It's over now. Shed a tear, man. Pour one out for the dude. All right, man. This weekend, though, again, fights kept coming. Let's go ahead. I'm going to change gears a little bit. I will talk about what kind of stood out for the weekend in terms of the rest of that card. But we had some fucking boxing happen, too. So let's go ahead and talk about that. If you guys are watching live, man, let us know where you guys are checking in from. What it do? All right. This weekend on the Zone, yo, I have no idea how the Zone is really doing because I swear to God, these dudes don't promote shit. Like, none of these boxing cards have been promoted for shit. And if we really have to have a serious discussion on who won the year in terms of MMA and boxing, nigga, that shit's not even close. Boxing has put up a whole bunch of duds, and MMA has put up just classic after classic after classic. They've handled the pandemic beautifully. Yes, we've had 6 main events in a row have to be changed because of COVID, but at the end of the day, what can you do? They've still put on the events, and yes, I was critical at the beginning of the pandemic, but at the end of the day, they've kept us entertained. They've kept my ass with a job. Don't get it twisted. I talk shit about anything, so we can keep the party moving. But I'm talking about what the fuck I want to talk about, which is fighting. And and boxing hasn't done so. But back half of the year, definitely Q4, they're really starting to kind of crank out some events. This is one that we saw. It was Anthony Joshua goes out there and he fought Kubrat Pulev, Mr. Nasty himself. Why do I call him Mr. Nasty? And I'm sure you guys seen me kind of clown his ass on social media. It's because he's a nasty fucking dude. He's one of the motherfuckers that after a win, he like just straight sexually harassed this one lady, grabbed her, just planted one on her ass, like a big Viking or some shit. It was like she was definitely terrified, and like he got in trouble for it, but he's that type of dude, like just gross. Captain Nasty ended up getting KO'd by Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua goes out there and gets a mid-round stoppage. He had looked great in some spots. I'm not gonna say he didn't look great. He definitely started off slow. And this is one of those fights that I was wondering, because the last time we saw Joshua was his rematch against Andy Ruiz after Andy Ruiz knocked his face off. So we're seeing him go back out there, and he definitely is a different fighter. He's not as much as that seek and destroy guy as he used to be. He's definitely one of those dudes that's more so, he's a little bit calculated, but he still has that finishing capability. You know what I mean? He still is able to go out there and put his punches together. And for somebody who is 6'6", to be able to, and 245 pounds, to be able to put, uppercuts together the way he does, most tall guys don't utilize the uppercut as well as Anthony Joshua does. And he did. He kept going to the well with that. And then he was landing. His jab looks solid. And when he had Pulev hurt, he did go in for the kill. He hurt him first in the third round. Dropped him a couple of times, and then he ended up catching him again. Like I said, later on in the fight. Was never really in danger at any point in time in the fight, but one of those things that really makes Anthony Joshua as compelling as he is he can get hurt. He is one of those guys that can absolutely get injured. He can get hurt in a fight, and that is one thing. I mean, he was hurt against Dillian Wyatt. He was hurt and dropped against, Vladimir Klitschko. He was hurt and defeated by, Andy Ruiz. He is somebody who can be hurt. So he's always must-see TV because he's also so fucking good, and he can put anybody down at any point in time. So he keeps his belt. He's the unified champion. He did his thing. After the fact, they asked him, "Yo, fam, fuck you gonna do? You gonna take that smoke and fight Tyson Fury?" He really wasn't committed to it. Bob Arum goes out there afterwards, says, "All steam ahead, first thing Monday morning. That's what we're gonna try to make. That's the fight we're gonna try to make happen. The fans, all of us, that's what the fuck we want to see happen." It would be the biggest fight one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Bob Arum says it'll be the biggest fight since Ali Frazier rematch in '71. Would it be that big? Probably. It'll definitely be the biggest fight in European and the UK boxing history, hands fucking down. It would be an incredible fight. It would be for the undisputed heavyweight title, and that'd be the first time since motherfucking Lennox Lewis. I'm telling you, man, that would be incredible. I hope that fight does actually happen. So let's be honest. Will we see that fight, AJ versus Tyson Fury, in 2021? I say fucking yes. Alexander Usyk is Anthony Joshua's mandatory. He says he's not willing to step to the side. Fuck that shit. Step your monkey ass to the side. Let's go out here and let's get the one the fans want to see. That is the fight as fight fans we fucking deserve. I want to see Anthony Joshua versus the big ass mountain of a man in Tyson Fury. I think that is the best fight that boxing has to offer. I think that is the best heavyweight fight that we have seen in decades, and I cannot fucking wait. Okay. So yes, I think that fight absolutely happened. Do I think it happened probably towards the end of the year? Yes. Do I think they'll take a fight in between? God, I hope not. God, I hope not. Boxing is kind of flaky enough that they'll fuck around and do that shit. But I'm telling you guys now, I hope that that's not the case. I think that there's enough momentum at this present moment in time. I think Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing, I think they'll try to make that shit happen, and the promoter of Anthony Joshua, and I believe that Bob Arum seems like he wants to make that fight happen as well. Huge fight again. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. That fight 1,000% makes sense. All right. Moving right along. What else do we have today? I want to talk about really quick, man. Obviously, we talked about your Romero signing. But let's talk about the rest of the weekend standouts. I'd be remiss, guys. I have to talk about Kevin Holland. And this is in UFC 256, goes out there, dude, knocks out motherfucking Jacare Souza, the legend Jacare Souza, from his knees. Yes, I said that shit. He was on his knees. It was in a scramble. He was getting up, and he generated crazy amount of power from his knees, knocked out Jacare Souza, finished him off with ground and pound. Literally, as Jacare's on his knees, falling backwards, he had it, grabbed him by the back of his head, and was just pounding him some movie shit. And he ended up winning that goddamn fight. Crazy fight. Great win by Kevin Holland. If it wasn't for how great Davidson Figueiredo was, and that all of Davidson Figueiredo's fights were at the championship level, Kevin Holland would be hands down my fight of the year. I love that. This kid is incredible. Great win, Kevin motherfucking Holland. Cub Swanson is back. Yo, I have counted this man out time and time again, but he liked the Fight Podcast IG page. If you guys haven't checked it out, at the Fight Podcast on IG. And look what happens. You like our page, you get a fucking W. He went out there, rolled back the clock, and looked dominant, man. Looked amazing, looked crisp, looked sharp. I love what I saw. Salute to Cub Swanson. Mackenzie Dern put out an amazing performance as well. Great back and forth action with her. That was a great fight. And the one for me on the MMA side that I love is this multiple time Muay Thai champion. For you guys who know me, you know I love striking. This dude, Rafael, I hate to say it, you see it written on the screen now. Fizz, I called him. Rafael Fizz is a motherfucker, bro. He goes out there and look, Renato Moicano is a badass. Renato Moicano is somebody who a lot of people thought could win a title. Renato Moicano was whooping Brian Ortega's ass. He is that good. This dude went out there and sent this man to he sent him to the shadow realm, fam. One of the quickest combos you've ever seen. Body, head, hook, out. Amazing. I don't understand why these dudes don't want to. People need to start grappling with him, because the more you strike with him, the more he knocks you fuck out. He beat up Mark Jakazik, who is a monster on the feet. He just knocked out Hikano Moicano. This dude is coming. Watch out, guys. Rafael Fizz is the man. I love what I saw from him. Also, this weekend, Shakur Stevenson picks up a big win. People said it was boring. Fuck out of here. That was an impressive performance. He looked good. He dominated from pillar to post. Amazing win. Edgar motherfucking Berlanga. Puerto Rico, stand up. BX, stand up. You guys got one. This dude is a monster. 16-0, 16 first round knockouts. I'm going to say it one more time. 16-0, 16 first round knockouts. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen anybody hit as hard as this dude. And it is visible. He's clipping dudes and they're just collapsing. And he is not fighting bums. Dude is a problem. Salute to Edgar Berlanga and all those guys on his team. My boy Dago, who represents him. Salute to you and your boys. All right. Also, last but certainly not least, Chris Colbert. Guys, this is somebody that you need to watch out for. We can possibly see him and Shakur Stevenson match up in the future. He was quick. He was precise. He was accurate. He's flashy. He had the fucking pink hair with the gloves and shit on. Dude has it all. Amazing performance by Chris Colbert. I'm telling you guys, boxing is in a fucking fire-ass place. All right. But yo, with that being said, man, think that's about all the time I got today, man. This is Morning Coffee and Fight News. You know how we get down. We try to give you guys a little bit of quick action for you guys in the morning. Remember, if you guys are listening to Fight Podcast everywhere, we're available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Listen, like, subscribe. Everyone who's watching live right now, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Watching live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And check out our sponsors, guys. Do not forget our sponsors. Salute to Nug Club Official, one of the best premium weed companies in the world, man. They drop off a box, curated box, $200 worth of bud for $100. But if you go ahead and actually put in promo code The Fight, you get an extra $10 off. So $200 worth of bud for $90 delivered right to your door. Check them out, Nug Club Official. Also, CBDpure.com. Guys, you guys know me. My health and fitness is important. Recovery is important. All of these things are extremely important. And, cognition, all these things. So CBD Pure is here for you guys. CBD Pure is organically grown, USA processed right here, organic hemp right from Colorado. CBDpure.com. Check them out today. You get 15% off if you apply promo code The Fight today. Check them out, especially for the holidays. CBD is an amazing gift, guys. So check that out. And last but certainly not least, since 1910, the best equipment in the world, Everlast.com. Love you guys. Big supporters of the show. When I used to fight everything, I've always used Everlast, man. I love it. Errol Spence Jr. uses it. Dustin Poirier uses them. Muhammad Ali used them. Mike Tyson used them. Everlast, check them out. 10% off, promo code The Fight. All right. Let's see, man. Whatever thing we got going on today, man. That's about it. Check us out this week. We have plenty more coming at you. We got some interviews coming up this week. We have a great scrappy hour coming up on Thursday. That is this Thursday. That is going to be on streaming live on Instagram. We have a couple great guests coming on. So we actually have an all wrestling episode, as well as we have one of the best mental coaches in all of combat sports also coming on this week. And some more guests. So thank you guys all for joining us on the show today. This is your boy, Serg Vicente, the host of the greatest combat sports and culture in the entire universe, The Fight Podcast. This has been episode 251 of The Fight Podcast, Morning Coffee and Fight News. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next time right here on The Fight Podcast. Peace out. Love you.